Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a great day and that you are all doing well. To start things off, OmiseGo, one of the most popular projects on the Ethereum network, recently announced important advances in plasma development and integration. In the monthly community update, the OmiseGo team explained that during the last month they made a significant number of advances in the development of applications based on plasma technology. The project, which the OmiseGo team calls Tsuji Plasma, will be the first plasma iteration and is of particular relevance since it provides the basis for the building of future iterations. They mentioned in the post that they have already achieved the successful development of all the elements necessary to meet the objectives set out in their roadmap, and they are proof of authority, exit to Ethereum, client line interface to monitor the child chain, multiple currencies, as well as atomic swap support, which is going to be absolutely epic. Despite the optimism, however, the team hinted that the developments are not yet mature enough to be officially implemented. Even though every single milestone already has an impressive degree of completion, they said, the first four POA, exit, CLI, multiple currencies are done and on internal testnet. Atomic swaps are a feature, not infrastructure, so although they are among the list of goals, they are not a necessity for launch. When the time comes, we'll go ahead to, regardless of whether atomic swaps are ready to go. That is very important. If everything else is already ready to go and atomic swaps are not necessary, this means that we might actually be a lot closer to plasma than we actually think. The OmiseGo development team mentions that to facilitate the work, they divided efforts into two stages, which they call minimum viable plasma, which is kind of the basic implementation, and more viable plasma, which is more user-friendly and entails a higher level of elaboration. Another significant development was the successful implementation of a series of liberties that allow the creation of smart contracts on OmiseGo's minimum viable plasma. It is expected that all testing will enable the implementation of a more refined library in more VP very soon. First of all, OmiseGo might actually be one of my top 3 favorite projects right now. In line with what the Ripple team is doing, and also what the EOS team has planned, or what they say that they have planned for their future of the project. OmiseGo, a lot of people, I used to speak a bit about them towards the beginning of the year, I kind of want to say. There hasn't been much news about them simply because, for those who don't know, the OmiseGo team has mentioned at least once or twice that they refuse to be like other cryptocurrency projects where there's an avalanche of news 5 times a day through a Twitter post. They said they would rather spend that time instead of hyping up the project, actually working on the project. And one of the things that they're working on is called Plasma. Part of the thing that they're working on, what Plasma pretty much comes down to is finding a way to speed up the Ethereum network. And as OmiseGo is built on top of the Ethereum network, Plasma is meant to enable Ethereum and therefore OmiseGo to be able to process anywhere from 100,000 to around 10 million transactions per second. They've been working on it quite diligently, and a lot of people I've noticed have been telling me the, last couple of months and stuff like that, if I'm still into OmiseGo. Without a doubt, my personal opinion, the price of the OmiseGo token right now is almost laughable how low that it is. There was a moment in 2016, late 2016 and early 2017, where the price of Ethereum was around $6 to $8, and I remember my friends were asking me why hadn't the price of Ethereum gone up, and like, did I still believe in the project? And I was like, yeah, I think Ethereum is going to be absolutely major. And by the time Ethereum was around $800, these same friends were asking me, should they buy a fraction of Ethereum? And I was like, you could have gotten in when the price was, that's not financial advice. That's not me telling you to go out and buy the OmiseGo token simply because I'm talking about it. But OmiseGo is going to be, whether you know it or not, I would even look up the company called Omise. They are more or less the PayPal of Southeast Asia. They have partnerships with countries at this point. And they also have a partnership with like McDonald's, but that's kind of like a weird kind of thing floating around. Anyway, the point is, when we finally do have Plasma, it is going to be one of the most exciting days in probably crypto for quite some time, simply because Plasma means not only can Ethereum scale, but OmiseGo can finally officially launch. Like, you can have the token and stuff like that at the moment, but they've been working so diligently on the entire project. And what kind of not spooked people, what made people wonder if the OmiseGo team was still around is because part of their roadmap on the project said that Plasma would be done by now. but the people from Ethereum and OmiseGo have been working on, it has to be since like 2000, late 15, 16 or something like that, where they've been working on Plasma and Casper and all these other things. So it does take a while. No one knows exactly how long it's going to take, but for those who are wondering, OmiseGo is, I mean, I can't stress it enough how much I actually love this project and what they plan on doing and the partnerships that they're making, and just how active the team actually is on working on the project. There have been a number of other cryptocurrency projects right now. I'm not going to name any names because every time I name a name, people keep saying that I'm spreading FUD or I'm throwing someone under the bus or I'm doing so and so. A lot of other not major, but like larger cryptocurrency projects have either been spamming Twitter with false things and false saying that they're actually doing other things, or a lot of the projects have taken time off during the downtrend in the market. They have simply let the project go and they're on a beach somewhere. They're not really actively updating it. Like, you know, this isn't every single project, but a large part of the projects right now, you may notice like the volume on certain projects is extremely low, and there's also like really no information about them. Like at least OmiseGo gives updates every now and again. Other cryptocurrency projects have almost pretty much left them. Anyway, the point is, hopefully, we had news before that the Ethereum team said that they think or hope that the updates that they're trying to do, not Constantinople, but other things, could hopefully be implemented by the middle or quarter 3 of 2019. I hope it doesn't take that long. I mean, if it does take that long, then it's fine, but I hope that we at least get Plasma before. I would be extremely ecstatic for the future of cryptocurrencies and also for other ERC20 tokens. Alrighty, let's move on. So yeah, I'll read through it. It could soon be illegal in the world's largest democracy to hold cryptocurrencies that lack the government's seal of approval, according to Money Control, a report which is being prepared by a committee headed by India's Economic Affairs Secretary Subhash Chandra Garg. May propose amendments to the existing laws with a view of making it illegal to hold crypto assets that are not approved by the governments in the world's largest democracy. Per the reports from the Indian financial publication, the Subhash Garg committee is in its final phase of deliberations. Besides merely proposing legislative amendments and recommending punishment for those holding unapproved crypto assets, the panel will also define the punitive measures that will be meted on for those who flout the law. That's ridiculous. It is understood that this move stems from the government's view that crypto assets which are unregulated should be kept out of the Indian financial ecosystem to prevent them from being used to aid illegalities such as evading taxes, as well as in Ponzi and multi-level marketing schemes. The Subhash Garg committee was set up last year and is expected to submit its report in December. Besides the Economic Affairs Secretary, the membership of the committee is drawn from India's central bank and the country's Secretaries Markets Regulator. If the Subhash Garg panel report is adopted, as reported, it will not be a surprise given the anti-cryptocurrency stance the various government agencies in India have taken. Early in April, for instance, the Reserve Bank of India prohibited financial institutions that the central bank of the world's second most populous country regulates from offering services to crypto businesses. Additionally, the RBI banned these financial institutions from allowing their clients to buy cryptocurrencies in the world's largest democracy. I said before, I don't think India was going to ban cryptocurrencies. I didn't see a future where that was going to happen. The December timeframe, I don't remember where it said it exactly. Yeah, right here. The report in December still sets up with the time frame that we had from India multiple times this year, where they kept on pushing back actual legislation and regulation over cryptocurrencies. And we have, I think it's expected that we're going to have some type of answer from India in November, which also then leads me to believe that this could then come out in early December. As far as them, like, I get it. I understand ICOs have had a very bad rap. A lot of the ICOs have completely disappeared. I think it's something like, $600 million has been raised this year so far, just off of ICOs around the world and stuff like that. And 90% of ICOs in general have completely failed or died out, or I forgot, it was like 15, 25, 30% or something like that of ICOs. The people who were forming the ICOs took the money, completely disappeared. So I get the idea of the fear of cryptocurrencies. It said somewhere around here, holding cryptocurrency that are not approved by the government. If you guys remember it had to be about 2 or 3 months ago at this point, maybe even a month and a half, we had news that the Ripple team has an office in India, and they also had a plan at some point. They were working with the government to give every citizen in India an XRP token, and that led me to believe, I said, okay, that I said it, and I wonder sometimes, like, if I'm actually psychic, and I'm not even joking, like, because some of the things I say, maybe it's just really apparent to me, or maybe I've just read enough that I can kind of gauge how governments are. If you are a country and you ban cryptocurrencies and other crypto projects, and they've been shutting down crypto exchanges, but you allow a cryptocurrency company, which is Ripple, to open up shop in your country, and then also even allow them to potentially be able to give their cryptocurrency token to every single person inside the country. We also had news that slipped during one of the what's it called? Like, there was some type of like banker meeting or something like that, some type of like, not shareholder meeting. It was this huge event, and Ripple was part of it, and I don't know if they slipped. Like I said before, Ripple has a tendency to, I think they've made so many partnerships that I think they want to desperately give news that they really can't. One of the people on the panel mentioned that they have already partnered with at least 50% of the banks in India, which led me to believe then, if all this stuff is happening and they're pushing back so hard, this is also part of one of the reasons why I believe that China is probably at some point also going to allow cryptocurrencies. But I think as a country, China has banned cryptocurrencies, but they've also created committees who give out a monthly rankings of cryptocurrencies. If you're going to ban it and you don't care about it, you don't do something like that. India has been kind of doing the exact same thing, which led me to believe, I guess this is why this story makes a bit more sense to me right now. If you're going to make it illegal for people to hold cryptos that have not been approved, this leads me to believe that not only has my opinion, see it this way, see, like, try and look through my eyes. I think I want to say it was Thailand. It's not Singapore. It's somewhere in Southeast Asia. There was another government who allowed, I think, 6 cryptocurrencies to 6 or 8 cryptocurrencies to be allowed, that are allowed in their country. And one of them was XRP. I think it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin. I can't remember the names of the other one for the life of me, but those are, those 4 are usually like the most spoken about coins. I have a strong feeling that as Ripple has been in India since at least 2017, I'm going to say 2016, if not 2015, the Ripple team has been they've been so smart. It's the same exact thing with the IOTA team. This, pay attention to the partnerships and where people are landing. You can throw a rock somewhere and it ends up landing, but it's like they've thrown rocks all over the place so they can get as much land as possible and stake their claim everywhere. Ripple has also they've made sure that they are regulatory compliant in every single aspect, in every single country that they've gone to. They've stood before Congress in multiple parliaments around the world, making sure that people know we are, as a company, willing to bend over backwards to be able to work in your country. And that was a huge thing at the very beginning. People didn't understand why the Ripple team was so willing to, bend down on one knee and say, I will do as you please. And now they're the only crypto project that's like allowed almost everywhere. The point is, I assume relatively soon we're going to get some, hopefully in November, so this entire thing can just finally pass to the side, because I've noticed a lot of people from India are actually watching my videos. Hello to all of you out there in India. I know this is very frustrating. It's frustrating for me. I'm not even in India, so I can assume what it's like for all of you. I hope that this is all over very soon. Please make sure, I'm pretty sure you all are as well, those in India, to make sure that you are paying attention to what your government is saying. I don't want anyone out there holding any crypto that's not approved by the government. As of now, I'm going to assume that it's going to be the same crypto that the other countries have been approving and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, everything is still leading up to the November-December timeframe. We've had such a tumultuous year. It's just been kind of all over the place with governments throwing us back and forth. And now we've gotten to the point where multiple governments and multiple things are supposed to be launching in November, and laws are supposed to be made official in November and December. Let's hope that we actually end up getting some type of proper paperwork, something, so that everyone knows, and that people in India and in many other countries around the world know that they're not doing something illegal. I mean, even if you're only allowed to hold certain crypto assets, the bright side of it is that you're still able to hold some assets as well. You know, in general, let's hope that we actually do get this report in December. I'm pretty sure it's going to make headlines, and we'll see kind of where that goes from there. Let's move on. Next up, there's a new listing of XRP, and it's happening on Robinhood. It says a rather well-known crypto service platforms that's been known to charge 0 transaction fees. That means that anyone who tops up their Robinhood account with crypto gets to interact without incurring a cent in transaction fees. That's where XRP is headed right now. Robinhood has officially confirmed its decision to list and have XRP ready for trading on its crypto platform starting on last Friday. That said, that should make some history, blah, blah, blah. After the listing, crypto traders and investors will be able to deposit, trade, or withdraw. That's very important. XRP on Robinhood. Trades associated with XRP will include XRP to USDT and XRP to BTC. Another crypto called XEM will be also listed on the platform, and its trades will be XEM to USDT and XEM to BTC. What's important? Okay, first of all, if you, in the comment section below, or anyone watching this, if you have ever used Robinhood, please tell other people what you think about the Robinhood platform. They've been making a lot of news lately about not launching new coins, listing new coins, and people using their platform. People apparently, first of all, the free transactions are great. Them listing new coins is also wonderful. There's been a problem with a couple of other apps, or not even dApps yet, who don't even allow you to withdraw your cryptocurrencies, and the fact that you can actually withdraw your XRP. This is incredibly, you would assume you would always be able to withdraw your own money, but lo and behold, there are other platforms that when you put your money on it, you have to then sell that coin and cash out back in your local fiat currency, and then send that fiat currency back to your bank, which a lot of people don't care for. So like I said, if you have been using Robinhood, please let other people know if the platform is great. Let them know honestly, if you had problems with it, if there was a problem withdrawing, how long did it take you to withdraw your money? Did it take a week? Did it take a couple of hours? Did it take a couple minutes? Did you have an issue on the website? Was there something that you just did not like and you tried to contact customer support and they were nasty or rude or mean to you, or, they just haven't still responded back to you? Because it's happened before where I was talking about other platforms and I told people to talk about it. Thank you very much for those who did. And people were talking about, I contacted them 6 weeks ago and I still have nothing. My money's still on their platform. I don't want that to happen to anybody. So if you've been using, I haven't used Robinhood myself, but I've heard relatively okay things. Like I haven't heard anything like major negative at all in any aspect about Robinhood. So once again, if they have been good to you, then let other people definitely know as well. I hope that they get past the just listing it with USDT and BTC. The market, like that should have been done in 2016 already, especially I'm going to assume if they're just listing XRP now, especially with XEM now, they probably at least have Litecoin, Ethereum, and maybe like 2 or 3 other coins, and there should be listings for all of them. Regardless, it's a new listing of a coin, so that's always good news for us. Next up, on the 18th of October, it was announced that Michael Novogratz and Goldman Sachs are both investing in BitGo, a cryptocurrency custody company planning to fill the institutional investors' gap in the crypto sphere. Reports have shown that both the companies or parties have contributed around $15 million into BitGo's Series B funding round. The move comes in the wake of the issue of custody being raised multiple times in roundtable discussions, as well as Senate hearing regarding cryptocurrencies. Mike Belshi, CEO and co-founder of BitGo, said, "This is the missing piece for infrastructure. It's a treacherous environment today. Hedge funds need it, family offices need it, and they can't participate in digital currency until they have a place to store it that's regulated," end quote. BitGo created ripples in the cryptocurrency space by becoming the first company to act as a regulated cryptocurrency custody offering specifically for digital assets. The investment from the financial bigwigs are speculated to give a massive push to cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin into the realm of mainstream adoption. That's not really that important. when you listen around and you look for news and you look for there are a lot of podcasts, and there are a lot of even YouTube videos and other articles and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen them. Why isn't the market moving? I'm pretty sure you've all seen the market's definitely going to move on this date, but there's also a lot of them saying, why isn't the market moving? Why isn't the market doing anything? And a lot of people still believe that the main thing that's stopping a lot of these people from getting into it is custody. A lot of the custody options that we have right now, not that they're lackluster, but they lack the name of someone major. Mike Novogratz is, I think he's actually richer than some countries, and that's not even a joke. I know he's incredibly wealthy, and I was reading something about him, and I'm pretty sure they said one of the reasons why he's so looked up to in the cryptocurrency space is because his wealth has like outshined other countries, which is completely insane. And Goldman Sachs, I mean, it's Goldman Sachs, regardless of how you feel about banking or financial institutions. They are one of the largest in the entire world. And I told you months ago, I said, I don't think what we have now back then and the cryptocurrency space was going to be around for that much longer. When Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, the New York Stock Exchange, and all of them announced, or rather finally launched their crypto exchanges or crypto custody platforms, I think a lot of the other 95% of the other crypto websites and stuff that we have are going to completely vanish almost like overnight. The amount of money that these people have to be able to advertise, like remember 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, wow, time flies, where Facebook and Google, if I'm not mistaken, announced that they were going to be allowing cryptocurrency ads all over again, but the stipulation is that you had to be something that was regulated, or you had to have the proper paperwork. And this is why you started seeing like Coinbase ads all over again, and you started seeing like sometimes for like Gemini and stuff. One can only assume that Goldman Sachs and Fidelity are definitely going to have an enormous amount of ads flowing through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know if Snapchat has ads. I don't use Snapchat. Custody, like they say, is apparently, I mean, it kind of is. I can't even downplay it. Like I told you guys before, if you are dealing in like hundreds of millions of dollars and you're looking, like, you're not gonna put your money on like bitmexgo.co.uk. That's not a real website, but like you can't just throw it anywhere. So they're looking for major players to get into the game. They're here, and this is one of the other things that I kept on saying, and I'm hopeful for prices to eventually start going up in the hopefully relative future. Because when you have major names like this getting into the cryptocurrency space and investing in other cryptocurrency platforms and custody platforms and launching their own things, it's still a conundrum as to why the markets haven't exploded yet. But we'll see eventually. I'm not going to even say I assume anything, because there's been so much speculation this year. I just want to kind of give the facts now. I'm not going to even speculate anymore. Let's move on. Next up. Recently, former CFTC Commissioner Sarah Bowen spoke about how concerned the regulatory community is about cryptocurrencies, Lab CFTC's approach, and her opinion about the current administrative acceptance of new asset classes at the Bloomberg conference. Bowen went on to speak about the regulators' concerns towards cryptocurrencies, whether they are from the European Union, Africa, or Hong Kong. One of the main things that regulators look for is that their currencies and monetary supply are not harmed by the virtual currencies. Bowen stated, furthermore, she said that they are not only working towards protecting investors from manipulation, but also wish to embrace the innovation and technology. According to her, the whole process of regulation is all about finding the right balance between the racing innovation and protecting the investors. She gave her 2 cents on the CFTC's fintech initiative, Lab CFTC, with an aim to learn about the technology and share regulatory concerns that they would have. Bowen said that this is the right approach and added, "It's a lot better to know what you are dealing with rather than waiting for the next crisis to sit and try to tackle the problem. So I think ahead of the game and being involved really makes sense," end quote. On the other hand, she added that the Treasury and the Federal Reserve have not taken the light approach towards the cryptocurrency space. The light touch is a term used to describe an approach wherein the regulatory party does not take drastic measures relating to the evolution of the market. This is used to protect investors and allow innovation to flourish, she said. "I don't think the Fed sees cryptocurrencies as being a threat or a systemic risk? Well, I think the current administration and trade recovery accommodates to innovation and are asking for banker cooperation and collaboration. Without going too much further, I'm pretty sure you got the gist of what is actually happening. This, I think, is probably the most important sentence in all of it. Their currencies and monetary supply are not harmed by virtual currencies. This is already happening. The reason why this is being spoken about, the Bitcoin isn't like shattering records or like, destroying currencies around the world. But what's happening is that we're seeing the beginning cracks of the old system. A lot of people have been leaving Wall Street for the cryptocurrency space. If you look at the stock market and if you look at and listen to what people are talking about the stock market and where they think the stock market is going, usually down, and the predictions that we've been seeing about where the stock market could go in the next couple of years, and people talking about that certain companies are completely overvalued, and with the Fed raising interest rates as well, people think that there's a whole bunch of things happening with the stock market, and there's a fear that the next stock market crash, will cause the world to fall into another like hyper recession, which could be even worse than the 2008 one. On side of this as well, governments are becoming concerned because the debt that these governments have is now astronomical, with many countries around the world having trillions with a T of dollars in debt, which is unsustainable because they're constantly some countries are taking on like 500 not 500 million like 50 million like per month and stuff like that, and it's not this can't continue on. So what governments are thinking of right now is not only how to make sure that the stock market in some way stabilizes itself, but also how to make sure that their currencies don't go into the hyperinflation that we've seen, because whether you may not hear about it that often, you may not really care about it that often, but it does have some type of impact on you as far as what's happening in Venezuela and Argentina, and especially what's happening in Turkey right now with the devaluation of their currency against the US dollar. It's believed that if that gets severe enough, it could have a backlash or start spreading through all of Europe. And if that ends up happening, we then have a problem. If the euro is in trouble, that means the US dollar will also start bringing on some type of problems. And this once again leads us to the predictions that we've had from so many other major players in the cryptocurrency space, whether you want to call them oracles or witches. I don't even know what word you kind of want to use for them at this point. The amount of people who are getting into cryptocurrencies shows me normal people getting into cryptocurrencies, friends and family getting into cryptocurrencies, government agencies shining a light on them and saying, this is definitely something I'm not too afraid of. People moving from Wall Street getting into cryptocurrencies. I don't even know how to formulate the actual sentence. I wonder what's going to happen when we do actually have the stock market crash. That is going to happen at some point. And what this will do to the future of cryptocurrencies, because a lot of people, like I said, from Wall Street have moved over to what people are calling the stock market 2.0. What balance will there be? A lot of people, I was listening to something a day or two ago, and they were talking about the actual correlation between the stock market and gold. And typically, especially in 2008, when the stock market fell, gold also went down because it was seen as a relatively risky asset to have your money in at the time. But then a year or two later, I think gold was $300 in 2006 or something like that, and then it shot up to around $1,200-$1,300 because it was the place where people were okay, we need a place for our money, let's dump it into gold. And they were saying, what if this ends up happening to crypto? Long story short, I could continue to go on about this, but I feel like I'm going in circles because I'm trying to say something exact, but I really can't put my finger on it. I know that it's there, but anyway, the point is, governments are afraid of cryptocurrencies because they're afraid of virtual currencies devaluing the currencies that they have right now. Pretty much hand in hand, if cryptocurrencies become too popular and fiat currencies continue to inflate and then hyperinflate, people will then fly over to virtual currencies. And this is a major concern for a lot of countries. I understand their concern. I'm trying to look through government colored glasses. I understand their concerns for it, but I wonder how this is all going to play out. if we get to a point where governments are experiencing, like major governments, not going to name any names, are going through like 7% inflation rates per year, and then it ends up going up to like 15%, which is, for those who don't know, extremely high. Governments tend to try to stick to anywhere from 1% to 2%, maybe around 2%. And that ends up happening. Will there be like a smear campaign against cryptocurrencies? But at that point, in 2019, at the end of this year, it's expected that cryptos will be like their own solidified asset class. So what happens in 2 years when the financial markets start breaking down, but crypto is already established and well known? Like we had news. I don't know if I read it for you guys, but there was it Novogratz? No. It was someone else. He was saying he predicts by the end of 2019, the way that crypto is spoken about on the news is going to completely change. He said, where you have it right now, where you'll have like news anchors like rolling their eyes and like they straighten their papers on their desk as they're holding them, and they go, well, what do you think about so and so? Like a very like skeptical look. He says the people who have gotten into, yes, that's exactly what it was. It was it was a podcast that I told you guys to listen to about a week ago. I made a video of it, and I said to listen to this podcast. He is a guy from Working on Wall Street, and he says the people that he knows who are getting into cryptocurrencies, and the companies who have not even announced that they're getting into it, who own these news corporations, that by the end of 2019, he said, people in these news segments will be asking their public viewers like more so questions like not do you trust Bitcoin? It's going to be like, why don't you have at least 1% of your net worth in Bitcoin? I mean, it's a very deep topic. I mean, you can't really talk about global economic collapse in a short little segment, for that tab. But this leads us, this is where we are. This is where crypto is. I feel like both sides of the spectrum are kind of waiting for the other side to kind of tip. Crypto people are waiting for more or less the global stock market to kind of shed its weight, because everyone believes that it's overvalued at this point. People in traditional markets who, like that Rubini guy who refused to admit that crypto could possibly be something, they're waiting on that side that crypto is going to completely collapse. One will eventually survive, and at this point, for me, it feels like the other major players, like when the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ get into cryptocurrencies and other stock exchanges around the world, it's pretty clear that crypto isn't going to die anytime soon. But I think in the end, I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a one winner takes all, like one market completely has to die. But it's even predicted that a lot of the stocks and mutual funds and bonds and hedge funds and all these other things are going to eventually be tokenized and built on top of platforms potentially like Ethereum and other blockchains. And that means to me that crypto already, or at least blockchain and crypto, have at least already won. Yeah. The market right now it's doing okay. I checked it earlier. As you can see, like there's been like slight dips over the last couple of days, but everything kind of continuously tries to bring us back to exactly this line where we were or are right now. I think I'm slightly optimistic because it's the weekend, and typically on the how are you down 0%? On the weekend, everything is usually like blazing red, like down 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. The market has become extremely stable, and this, according to analysts, is an indication that the market is either going to completely skyrocket or slam down at some point, because we are reaching the narrow bridge, if you will. Some coins are up. I couldn't really. A lot of people ask when I when I talk about prices and stuff like that, and I scroll through them. They'll ask about certain coins, like why are the prices up? I can't always give you an answer. This is not me pointing out this specific coin. Like, if your volume is 126,000 compared to like 10 million or even some of the other coins, it's generally very easy to pump the price of your coin, and then there's usually like a type of a slam down. There was a coin when was it? It was like a day or two ago. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, like something like this. Anyway, the point is, market is doing pretty okay. There was news about Salt that they're now, as far as like also, their Salt token, I think you can also collateralize debt on their platform with Bitcoin. I think, oh gosh, what was the other one? And rather the latest coin that they just added was also Dogecoin. Complete left field, but I mean, it's kind of cool. It's good to see that the Salt platform is actually picking back up. I was wondering, first of all, you need like a healthy market in order for the debt coins, if you will be able to pick back up. Maybe this is a sign of the optimism that we have in the market right now. Anyway, that's definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. Very interesting times in the cryptocurrency space. I am hopeful that we can all move on as a community in the next, let's say, 8 weeks. By December, hopefully things have become a lot better. As of now, I mean, people have been saying in the comment section, don't be down because prices are, I'm not that I'm down, or rather depressed because prices are down. I have goals that I want to achieve in my life, and prices being like this are not helping that. But I understand that, you know, it's a great time to be able to buy and stuff like that. I'm definitely, every month I try to throw some pennies at the market just to be able to, you know, hold my position in the market. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. And I'll talk to you all soon. See you.